Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. This is the Odds Couple Show, UFC edition. We're going to be covering UFC 203. His name is Mike Brenner. My name is Peter Loshek. And our guest, I love talking with this guy about UFC main cards, Andreas Hale, an MMA writer, contributing expert for Yahoo Sports and SureDog.com. Andreas Hale, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, thanks for having me once again.
All right, Mike Brenner, this is UFC 203. I got a few, I've been handicapping UFC for a long time.
And that's why I'm tagging along. I'm trying to learn the tricks.
Listen to what I have to say. I think I have a few good bets, although if Andreas Hale really disagrees with some of my opinions, then I'm going to be seriously rethinking them. All right, Andreas Hale, we have UFC 203. Obviously, Overeem and Stipe is the big fight. Then we got Travis Browne and Fabricio Verdum. But I think my favorite bet of the whole main card, let's see if you agree with this, Jimmy Rivera and Uriah Faber, right? Now, Mike Brenner, Uriah Faber is, I don't know if you know who he is, but he was sort of like a fan favorite. Mm-hmm. He was like the golden boy from California. He was a bantamweight, but he's getting up in age. And at his weight class, age really affects the skills that are required to see that level. He's 37. He still has kind of a name, and he's going up against kind of an underrated guy, Jimmy Rivera, who's proven that he can, hang with top 10 competition. The line is just minus 135.
How old's Rivera?
Rivera, actually, I'm not exactly sure, but I think he's around 30. I'm not exactly sure, but
so
yeah, that's
got some youth on him.
Yeah, that's right. And Faber's still a fan favorite. I'm wondering if Rivera at minus 135 might not be a great bet. Andreas Hale, what do you think?
I'm staying away from Rivera. Uriah Faber is still Uriah Faber, and he only loses to top-tier competition. And this fight, in a sense, is made as a showcase fight for Uriah. I don't think they're matching him up tough here. Rivera is a tough guy, don't get me wrong, but I don't see Rivera getting past Uriah Faber in this fight. I don't see any way that he does it. Uriah's wrestling is too good. If anything else, that alpha male guillotine could finish him off, and the wrestling could drag this one out for the 3 rounds.
All right, wow. I'm off of it.
Just talked you right off that ledge.
Yeah, so you don't think that Faber's skills have kind of been deteriorating? We've kind of seen him decline since like 2015, and we've seen this with other bantamweights, just kind of like hanging around a little bit too long. But you think he's still got something left in the tank?
Not at those. I mean, I think he's deteriorating. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
But at those odds, it's not my favorite pick on the card. I'm just looking at Uriah for what Uriah has accomplished in his career. Yes, he's deteriorating, but is that deterioration enough for me to put some money down on Rivera? No, it's not.
Right, as an underdog. Okay, Andreas Hale, that's why we have you on as the expert guest. I'm now officially off of that one. All right, let's go to the main event.
That might change, though.
Yeah, it could change. Who knows? Alistair Overeem and Stipe Miocic. This is a very interesting fight. At one point, these guys were both damaged goods, but everything changed, and now they're fighting for the heavyweight championship, 5 rounds. Overeem's kind of like a great striker, very, very experienced and a savvy fighter, but Miocic, KO'd Verdum in his last fight and became sort of an overnight sensation. It's also being held in Cleveland, which is where Stipe is from. Mike Brenner, did you do any research? Is anything you're thinking about?
No, I'm kind of tailing you guys. I'm just trying to learn this again. I've got some things I'm looking at, but I'm probably going to make a pick at the end.
Yeah, all right.
But, again, this is something I'm new at learning, so I want to know the angle and the edge, and apparently they're there, and Andreas is the man that
he really is it. But but as in all sports, with totals in MMA, I tend to be pretty good.
Totals, Loshak.
Yeah, right now, as far as the side is concerned, Andreas, so let's first start with the side. As far as the side is concerned, feels like a coin flip to me. Stipe right now minus 140, Overeem at plus 120. Do you think there's any edge there to be had, or do you think the lines are basically dead on?
These lines are pretty much right. Miocic is the champion. He has the momentum, but as unpredictable as a championship scene has been in the UFC, you never really know. And one punch can end any fight. So, yeah, this is spot on for me.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking as well. But tell me what you think about this, Andreas Hale. The total, it's a 5-round fight, championship fight. The total is 1.5 rounds. The over is just minus 120. Now, obviously, a first-round knockout with either of these guys could happen, obviously. But I'm thinking that, Overeem's he used to be one of these guys. He was on the juice. You know what I mean by the juice, right?
Absolutely, Pistol Pete. Yeah.
Overeem was on the juice, and when he went off the juice, he sort of, he fell down a little bit. He was one of these fighters who was like really kind of like arrogant in his youth, but now he's more measured and more prudent. I'm thinking the over 1.5 rounds at minus 120 might be a sneaky good bet. What do you think, Andreas?
Wow.
I think so, too. I mean, you have 2 stand-up fighters. Miocic is a better wrestler. Yeah. However, I don't think there's going to be any wrestling done in this fight. I think these guys are going to stand and bang. Miocic historically gets hit a little bit more than Overeem. But here's a little fun fact. Overeem, in his last 9 fights that he's lost all of them by knockout. And that's since 2005. He hasn't gone to the decision since 2005. So looking at that and looking at the fact that these are 2 great strikers, they have a common opponent in Junior Dos Santos. Overeem knocked Junior Dos Santos out. Stipe lost that fight in a 5-round decision. I think there's going to be a little bit of a feeling out process here. I think Overeem's smart enough to stay away from Miocic for as long as he can. And this thing should go at least past a round and a half, unless one of them do something foolish. Miocic doesn't get knocked out. He's been knocked out once by Stefan Struve, but I don't see any other way. This could end in a round, but I'll take the bet. I'll take a shot at it. That minus sounds good to me.
Exactly. That's exactly how I was thinking about it. Miocic Stipe has a good chin, and exactly Overeem. I think he's becoming a smarter, more cautious, more strategic fighter.
Comes
and
with
exactly
age.
what Andreas said. He's going to feel him out a little bit. It's a 5-round fight, Mike Brenner. So we could see we could see a brutal knockout in the 3rd round, the 4th round. You still cash over 1.5 rounds.
I love that, and I'm wondering why that line's so low. Seems a little low to me, a little tricky, and for me, being new to this, I kind of scratch my head a little and say that might be a 10-foot pole. And again, this is one I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna just kind of learn as I go.
Mike Brenner, you're becoming an all-star on Twitter. Tweet that out to your followers.
I will do it. I will do it. Absolutely.
Tell them you did a call with Peter Loshak and Andreas Hale, and they both like the over 1.5 at just minus 120. Andreas, right? I mean, if it was like minus 180 or minus 220 or something, no way. But at just minus 120, I think that's a good bet.
You loving it, yeah?
Why not?
Why not? Okay, now let's move on to Travis Browne and Verdum, and this is an interesting fight. For people who aren't familiar with MMA history, Travis Browne was on the rise. He's also Ronda Rousey's boyfriend. But Travis Browne was on the rise, and Verdum stopped him in his tracks in 2014. Verdum went on to win the title, and Browne kind of floundered since then. This is the rematch here, and it was kind of an upset when it happened, Verdum winning. Here, though, he's a big favorite, relatively, of minus 210. Browne at plus 175. This is another one where I think I have a lean on the total. But Andreas Hale, what do you make of this? I mean, the first fight went the distance. Verdum really handled Browne. Do you think we should expect mostly a carbon copy of the first fight here, or something different?
Yeah, Verdum's striking has gotten a lot better. Travis Browne is with Ronda Rousey's striking coach, which doesn't mean a whole lot.
Right.
We've seen how Ronda Rousey's striking evolved against Holly Holm. Didn't see a whole lot there. I don't necessarily see Travis Browne doing much to win this fight. Fabricio Verdum is a much better on the ground. His striking is great. I don't see Browne winning. And Browne just got ran over by Cain Velasquez in UFC 200. So he's coming back kind of quick after getting mauled. So this may not be a carbon copy, but I think Fabricio will finish him off here.
But Verdum also got knocked out by Miocic in the first round in his last fight, and he's 39. So at minus 210, you think he's getting too much respect here, or you think that's an appropriate line? Yeah.
I think it's appropriate. Travis Browne hasn't shown me anything in his last few fights. Verdum has gotten better with age. Few fighters do that. Verdum has. And he was kind of foolish when he got knocked out by Miocic, running at him the way he did with his hands down. He doesn't make that same mistake against Browne. I think he fights smarter. I think there's a lot more on the line for him because knowing losing this fight, you're completely out of the title picture. So he needs to win. He needs to fight smart. He's on the same card as the champion. So I think he's going to fight smart, get this fight to the ground, and submit Travis Browne.
Right.
That makes sense, and that makes sense why it's busted down to minus 210, too.
Right. Yeah. And so with heavyweights can sort of like weather age a little bit more. Their skill set doesn't diminish.
They fight smarter.
Yes.
You know,
here's what I'm thinking, though. The total on this one, though, is 2.5. The under is minus 130. And all 4 of Browne's fights since the Verdum fight have ended in TKOs. 3 of them in the first round. And of course, Verdum got knocked out by Stipe in the first in the first round in his last fight. What do you think about a shot with the under 2.5 rounds, minus 130 here, even though the first fight these two guys had went the distance at 5 rounds? What do you think?
I like this going under. I don't think this lasts long. It's just Travis Browne has just been slowly deteriorating to me.
I like this.
If he does win, it'll have to be early. I don't see him dragging this fight out past 2.5 rounds, getting it to the distance. I see this fight under 2.5 rounds for sure. I think this thing is going to end quick.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I don't like it quite as much as the over in the other one, but I like this one too. That's a second pick that I was really liking.
Travis Browne is Ronda Rousey's boyfriend, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I bet he's got some stories.
I'm sure he does. All right, so those are the 2 picks. Now, I mean, this is just a crazy fight. CM Punk fighting Mickey Gall. Now, CM Punk comes from WWE. I think
can you really put any credence into this? I'm just wondering.
This is, in my opinion, no. But maybe Andreas Hale can shed some light on it. But if he can, he'll be the first one because I've dug around looking for any kind of meaningful opinion on this fight, and I haven't seen it. I guess. I mean, the point is that CM Punk, for people who don't know, came over from WWE, from professional wrestling. He's 37 years old. Some guys who come from WWE do have like a pedigree where you can expect them to.
Well, they better drug test him. Look what happened to the last guy that came from WWE in the last one, right?
There's all sorts of issues here with Punk, and I'm just thinking that there's no way that he's, but then again, he's such a huge underdog. Do you have anything meaningful to say about this, Andreas Hale?
I mean, take a flyer. If you got a few bucks to throw at him, just why not? You know absolutely nothing about CM Punk. So I wouldn't do it in confidence. I mean, there's no way I'd do it in confidence, but why not? I mean, things could happen. Mickey Gall has fought 2 professional fights. He's finished both of his opponents off. What's the under on this, by the way?
The under is it's 1.5 rounds, minus 185. So big juice there.
Yeah.
And what is it at the over?
The over is about plus 160, 165 or so.
If Gall's going to finish this, he's going to get Punk out of there pretty quick. Yeah, there's really nothing you can really pull from this. We haven't seen a lot of Gall. We've seen nothing from CM Punk. He trains at Rufus Sport with guys like Anthony Pettis and Ben Askren. So he's got a great team behind him, but this is his first time under the bright lights. I'll just have a little bit of fun with it. I throw some money at Punk. Was it plus like 340 or something like that?
Plus 350 right now. Who knows where this line will move? Yeah.
Well, you never know, right?
And look at that. You know, Andreas said, why not take a flyer? Look at my note here. Is CM Punk possibly worth a flyer?
Bold letters.
Flyer is
keyword.
Look, my answer to that, Andreas Hale, is no. And you said, why not? I don't know. Maybe because what if CM Punk's real chances here should be plus 1,000 or plus 1,500? What if he really has no chance? That's why not.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Right.
These weird fights you just don't know.
If you wind up taking a flyer, I sincerely hope you win. For me, that's a 100-foot pole fight.
No doubt.
No way I'm betting it. And then the last fight is a great fight from a fan perspective. From a betting perspective, I'm not sure I'm seeing anything. It's Jessica Andrade and Joanne Calderwood, and both these fighters are really talented, up and coming. It's kind of a shame that one of them is going to have to lose here. And as far as the odds are concerned, I don't think I'm seeing an edge any which way. But maybe Andreas Hale can tell us about something that he thinks might be worth a bet. What do you think? Have anything to say about this last fight on the main card?
No, there's nothing really to take a chance here. Andrade, she's great. She's a great wrestler. Calderwood, she's a rough and rugged girl, but there's really nothing that separates these two, and there's nothing that should make you run out and throw some money down on either fighter.
Right. Okay. Andreas Hale, thanks so much. So to sum up, me and Andreas are both liking the under in Verdum and Brown.
That's where I'm going. Minus 130, right?
Minus 130. And the over in Stipe and Overeem. I'm still feeling my way out with the Uriah Faber fight. Andreas has made some good points.
Yeah, you're probably going to put a bunch of money on CM Punk before it's all over.
Yeah, who the hell knows? Andreas Hale, what would be your one single favorite bet out of the main card from UFC 203?
Oh, I like the Overeem and Miocic going over. I think these two guys are too smart to do anything else but try to feel each other out and not do something stupid within the first round. So that's my pick.
Awesome call. As always, Andreas Hale from Yahoo Sports and SureDog.com. Thanks so much. Talk to you again very soon, hopefully.
Have a great day, Andreas.
Thank you.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SPR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.